very quickly. So a person has a dream who's out there. They think they have something, but they're not really sure. What's some advice for them to take the next step?
Well, look, let's recognize that this is one of the greatest eras to live. I know that the country's politically divided. I know that it's a tricky time. It's a tricky time to navigate, but there's a reason that millions of people went into this country, not out of it. And I think the entrepreneurial spirit of this country still lives. And so, if you have a dream, whatever that might be, first of all, I think the first step you take is figuring out what that is. And the easy thing to say is, we'll chase the dream and burn the bridge and take the island. But it's not always that easy, right? I mean, sometimes we got to work that 9 to 5 to pay the bills, and we got families to feed. So I think progress is so important. If I'm giving like the realest answer I can, for me, you got to be in the best mind space possible. You got to take care of yourself first. And there's a reason I'm saying that. You're going to get hit with adversity in life. You're going to get hit with adversity today. You got to be in the best possible mind space every day so that when you approach your day, good or bad, you're the best version of yourself. For me, that means getting up early. That means working out. That means meditation. That means I cold plunge every single day, including this morning, which I know sounds crazy, but until you try it and get in the habit of it, it's one of the greatest personal life hacks that exists. I do all of that to look at my business and my dreams as like a Navy SEAL approaching their business. And so I think you got to get in the best possible mindset every day to be positive and inspired to do you. And then I think you just have to make sure you make progress. A lot of times I think when you say things like dream, we become a society where everybody wants a shortcut. There are no shortcuts. There's not. And there's no path that doesn't have failures or loss, or it's not going to make you second guess it every day. So being in the best possible mindset is going to help with that. And then making progress. How do you eat an elephant? You eat it one bite at a time. You got to take one step at a time here. And that step might just be to set up your LLC. It might be to start doing some homework outside of your regular work hours and watching YouTube videos, or gosh, this thing, Chat GPT, using it to create business plans. Whatever it is, make progress, fail forward. And not everybody has the luxury, just give up their day job to go do it. Make it a side hustle until it becomes a real thing. I mean, quite frankly, Mike, I just shared my backgrounds in real estate and mortgage. It wasn't in being a radio host and a TV host and then ultimately the CEO of this company. I was a mortgage professional, but I started doing this radio thing on the side, and it started to grow. And then one day that train was moving as fast as the other one, and I jumped ship. I jumped to the other train and I abandoned the other one. And so, maybe it's just make progress, be in the best possible mindset you can, take care of yourself, lead with good intentions, and make progress.
When we're out there, this is a getaway question. We're out there, we always work on our brand. When was it that you know your brand, you had something there when people started to recognize it? You're like, hey, hey, we saw your brand and there was something there.
Well, I think it's an everyday thing, right? I think it's an ongoing thing. I don't think we've solved for it. I think there's just every day. I always look at your brand as, what do people say about you when you're not around? And look, in the beginning, this is a very entrepreneurial model. And when you're an entrepreneur or you're doing something new or starting a business, there is no manual. And so you're going to make a lot of mistakes, and that's going to hurt your brand. And so I just think the best thing you can do is just keep moving forward. And for us, there was never this intentional, let's go get a PR company and blow up our brand, or spend this money digitally and blow up our brand, which there's a lot of phoniness out there that does those types of things. I think for us, the brand has been one long marathon of one day at a time, doing the right thing, treating others well, picking ourselves up after making mistake, learning from our failures. And if you do that long enough and you treat people well enough and you lead with good intentions, I think over time, brand is not something you accomplish overnight. It's something that takes time. And yeah, you can do some things like, you know, I mean, here's a real takeaway from it, something that's more tactical. Like if I'm a professional, look, people are living on these things, right? These phones. And we're talking about social media, but what about YouTube and Vimeo and LinkedIn? These are free mediums. And I think in a world where so much stuff is manufactured, being real is the most important thing you can do. And so taking out this phone and doing a little video of why you're passionate about something and posting that on YouTube and sharing that to your sphere, you could do that right now. And people are a lot more attracted to, I believe, authenticity than they are something super well polished. Now, keep in mind, I produce well polished TV shows that have
Yes, you do.
been nominated for an Emmy and won Telly Awards, and yet I'm still giving the advice here that you got to put yourself out there. You know, you got to be okay with who you are and not be shy about it. Not let modesty get in the way of your marketing, which modesty is a great quality, but you got to get out, you got to share your story. And in today's world, there's a lot of mediums to do that. And it starts, you could use your iPhone to create a video today about why you're passionate about something. And you could post that on Facebook or YouTube today, right now. And um, I think people are really attracted about that. They're very attracted to real right now more than ever because there's so much fake out there.
Greg Sewing dropping nuggets of knowledge on us. So you said, now this is a takeaway for me. Don't let modesty get in the way of your marketing.